Hi guys, I'm here with Simon Wan.
Hello, it's pronounced one.
One.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Obi-Wan.
Like Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We said you were gonna have fun with your sons.
My son Obi-Wan, yeah, it's not if my brother beats me to it, because the thing is, he's got a girlfriend, and I haven't, so he's kind of winning at the minute.
Well, I mean, she doesn't have to be your girlfriend though, right?
No, but I need to actually have sex with a woman before I can have a kid. It's been a bit...
That's fair enough.
It's been a bit dry, my old son.
Well, it's good to see you. Last time we worked together was in Singapore.
Yes, in 3 months, what was it, 2 months of crazy 34 degrees weather in Singapore, and the craziest nutbag show I've ever been in, man. That was a crazy fucking game.
That was you know, I miss Singapore a lot. It was a really good routine. You could definitely have done it for like 5 more weeks.
I could have, if we had a week off, I could have done another 5 weeks, mate. I could, you know, I love Singapore. I've spent, as you have, spent a lot of time in Hong Kong, spent a lot of time in London, but Singapore, man, was, I don't know, it was kind of like a video game. It wasn't it? And I know I made a big deal out of it, but everybody parks their car backwards.
Oh yeah, no, I remember, because they're very polite, they're very proper.
Yeah.
And it was quite cool. Like Singaporeans are very nice people.
They are very nice people. Booze is very expensive, the streets are very clean, and prostitution is legal, so, you know.
Is it legal?
Yeah, it's legal.
I don't realise.
Yeah. Someone told me.
One thing I thought was quite cool is that a lot of people didn't really bat an eyelid when they were like you and I playing brothers. Because you're kind of the opposite of me, because you were born here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were born in London?
I was born in Stoke Mandeville, Jimmy Savile ward in Aylesbury. It's true. And if you don't know Jimmy Savile, he's a very much loved UK comedian and DJ.
And so your dad's Chinese?
Dad is Chinese, Hong Kong born, a lot of lineage from Hong Kong. My grandma came from North China to Hong Kong to escape the Cultural Revolution. She met my granddad, fell in love, and so sort of the generations of sort of mainly Sai Kung, which is a very beautiful town in Hong Kong.
Yeah, Sai Kung was a massive area.
It's beautiful, and then my mum is from Wembley.
Oh wow! So did you ever live in Hong Kong?
Yeah, for months and months here and there, but not like.
Well, not like a long stint.
I think the longest I stayed was about 4 months. I mean, I've got my ID card. I'm fully 3 stars. Okay.
It's just crazy because I was born there and I'm only 2 stars.
Ah!
Right? That's because it's
just an unjust
I think
world.
you have to have Chinese blood to get to 3 stars.
You got Chinese blood?
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
What's your blood?
My mom's born in Hong Kong, but she's Filipino.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Like, yeah.
That's it. I'm out.
So it's interesting because my grandma went to spent a long time in Shanghai. Like she eloped from Philippines, went to Shanghai, and then moved to Hong Kong. So whenever I work in China and they ask me, do I have Chinese blood, I just say my grandma's from Shanghai.
Well, you have got Chinese blood then.
But I mean, she's technically not Chinese.
Well, I mean, you look a bit.
I know, especially when you put me next to like Chinese people. But yeah, it is.
You got a flat nose.
You reckon that's what it is?
Does.
Or is it the eyes? People tell me it's the eyes.
No, you got. I think if your eyes are Chinese, you got a Maori jaw.
Maori, which is weird because I'm not Maori. So I've got all these. I've got Chinese features and Maori features, even though I'm neither of them.
What are you?
I know.
What are you? You're a conundrum.
Just not.
You're just a yellow fella.
I'm not human. So it was interesting. I was watching this Joe Rogan podcast. He got Macaulay Culkin on, and Macaulay Culkin was like quite proud that he'd got this Asian girlfriend, and he's like planning to have a family with her, and he was like, do you think because I'm gonna have Asian kids, I can get away with Asian jokes?
Of course.
See, I knew you'd say that. But like Joe Rogan's like, nah. So you can, because you're a white boy, and they crucify you. And I thought like,
I know. I think if you've made a yellow baby, you can make yellow jokes.
you reckon?
Yeah, 100%.
Is that the standard?
Yeah, because obviously he loves her. You know,
Yeah.
he loves her. He's created a little bit of yellow. So, I mean, it depends how. I mean, if he's going to be cruel, I don't know. I had a really, really racist joke the other day.
Go on. Because it's not your joke. You're just sharing it.
Okay, well, I'll make it since this is a third culture, sort of Asian Oriental thing. I'll make it into that kind of vibe. So the joke was with my little editing. If I got $1 for every racist comment I made, I'd probably get robbed by a chink. Which I think is hilarious. You know what I mean? Because it's everything in that. You know, it's self-deprecating. I don't know, but I it's funny actually. Chinese jokes, you know, or Asian jokes. Do they offend you?
I know it's weird because I feel like I stand up. I stand up for them.
Mm.
Like that's the thing is that I feel Asian, not specifically. Like I'm very proud to be from Hong Kong, but I'm proud to be from Asia. So it's not really like Chinese specifically.
I think Asian jokes aren't as. If you think about them in history, they don't feel as nasty as a lot of jokes. Like, you know, you've got the Wong number thing.
But see, you know, that's the crazy thing is actually like when Westerners joke about each other, it's actually very specific, Italian, French, whatever. But when they joke about Asians, they kind of just lump them all together.
Yeah.
And there's millions.
There's a lot of Asians.
There's a lot of
Asians. Yeah. I mean, you look at somewhere like China. On the Russian border, they look Russian, Polskis, and you know, and then you go further down, they look a bit Indian. You know, what I mean? It's huge. So, yeah.
And then you get me and
me.
not even on the spectrum.
Yeah, we're some kind of weird freaks.
And what do you consider yourself?
Well, this is interesting. I have always considered myself as 100% English and 100% Chinese, and I know that's.
No, I like that you said that because we were also quite lucky to do a music video with Swiftly Singapore. You should check it out. I'll drop a link.
She's an actual historically game-changing.
Yeah, it was quite impressive, and it was quite cool to talk with her. And she said the same thing, didn't she? Because she's a mixie.
Yeah.
She said she's 100% Singaporean, 100% Indian.
Right? Yeah. And she was great. I mean, what she's doing as well, if you don't know, check out Suki Singapore. She's a burlesque dancer, but she basically changed the laws in Singapore that said that you weren't allowed to express yourself artistically through burlesque, and because of what she did, she kind of changed the law, and it's crazy, isn't it? Like an actual law changer.
Yeah, I found it's incredibly impressive what she's done, because it's I mean, most of us, you know, when you deal with, you know, just peer pressure of like, you know, am I good enough to do this, or like, you know, or you're worried about offending people, but to be like up against the government, and
especially Singapore government, which is kind of very.
Yeah, when they can easily, you know, take away your passport or not let you back in the country, it's incredibly impressive to stand up for what you believe in.
But going back to that, who do I identify with? Because I've got a huge family. I've got 8 uncles and aunties on my English side, and 8 on the Chinese side, and there's like an analogue between each one. But I know that in England, someone looks at me, oh, you're Chinese. And in Hong Kong, they're like, oh, you're English, because my Cantonese is very poor, as you know, it's quite rubbish.
And your mannerisms and your culture, your jokes, it's very English.
Yeah. But I do like very good Chinese things, you know, kung fu, dim sum, massage. Anime. No, but I love both cultures, and I think I've been really lucky to have experienced both in such a strong way, because from the age of about 10, with Chinese New Year and whatnot, you know, I've been going out to Hong Kong almost every year for say a month or so, and I've sort of you get thrown into that Chinese culture, which is it's very family, it's togetherness, it's very work driven, which I find opposite from English. When I'm in Hong Kong, they don't give a shit what I'm doing as long as I'm earning money, and in England they would rather me be happy, which is I mean, I don't know if it's just my family, but that's what I've noticed. There's less pressure from my English family to get a job, to settle down, to get married, to have kids. I mean, they want that, but then the Chinese family are like, we don't give a shit what you're doing. Just get married. You know what I mean?
See, I don't really think that's a Chinese thing. I think that in the Chinese that I know in general have this amazingly like hard work ethic.
Yeah.
You know, but I think the thing about Hong Kong specifically it's not exclusive to the Chinese, is I think just because rent is insane, and like 90% of people in Hong Kong are never going to own their own apartment.
Yeah.
So they've just got this mentality of like why are you trying to enjoy life when you should be working to the goal, which is, you know.
Well, it's because they know that when they're old, they want the kids to look after them. That's why.
Well, I have a lot of friends that when they got married, they move in with the parents. You know, they divide already a small apartment so that they can have the wife in, and I'm just like, it's madness. I mean, how many English people you know as soon as they're 18 they're out?
A lot. I mean, I got kicked out when I was 18.
So you got kicked out.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Asian families, just like you try to stay in as long as possible, and then Filipino families are even. You know, you try to leave and they beg you to stay.
I know. I mean, I like it though. I mean, we got a village house in Ho Chong village, and you know, there's uncles and aunties. There's 2 uncles and aunties with their kids who have left now, and then cousins. So there's like 4 floors. It's kind of like a hotel. It's like a 1-family hotel. You know what I mean?
Whenever you say 4 floors, I think of Singapore.
Yeah, it's 4 floors of drawers.
I never went. Just hear about it. You hear about these things.
You do hear about these things. I had a look.
You had a look, did you?
Had a look, yeah.
Is it actually 4 floors? Is it as impressive as it sounds?
Yes, it's like a cruise ship on acid.
But is it like it's each floor different theme?
No, it's just like a shit shopping centre from the 80s, just with bars and neon lights and you know those little LED light things they have.
So because that was quite cool when I went to Amsterdam and I tagged you in that picture.
Yes.
So I was wandering around Amsterdam. I was with some friends and they were saying, oh, are these streets in the red light district themed? And they kind of were. You know, you'd have your like oversized, you know.
Yeah, fat girls.
Yeah. And then you have your fetishes and you have like
You got the super hot street and then round the back you got the girls with the big hands and the neck. And you're like, I don't know if that's a girl. But to be fair...
And then it was crazy, then we went around this one corner and you had like, literally like red light district, girl dancing in a window, facing a church, which was next to a school, like a kindergarten school.
Yeah.
And they're just so chill about it.
They are chill about it, and I think that's a good thing.
Have you been?
Yes, I've been.
Yes.
On my 30th birthday, I went with my girlfriend, and that's all I'm going to say. But I think in countries where that prostitution is, I'm not advocating prostitution, you know, but in countries where prostitution is legal, sexual attacks and sexual crimes against women, and to some extent men, are much lower.
Yeah.
Because it's not a dirty secret. It's not something that you got to be shamed about, and you know, you might want to have sex with a guy. You might want to have sex with a fat girl or a man that dresses like a woman, but if there's nowhere to do that, you're going to get stressed out and pent up, and you know that can come out in other ways. Places where there's legalised prostitution, you know, if you've got the money and you want to fuck a bird or a dude, just do it, and then pretty much you're not going to be going out and mugging someone after that, I don't think, anyway. I mean, there are statistics that say that countries with legalised prostitution have a lot less rape and sexual attack. Just because there's an outlet to it, because men basically are fucking animals, you know, they can be.
I mean, it is interesting. Like, I mean, that's what that movie, The Purge, is about. You know, we have a few like basic instincts, and the thing is, I feel like you said, if you're not hiding it, it's quite easy to deal with. Like, you don't think that you're the only one. You don't think you have to keep it, and it doesn't like fester or grow.
And if you see things, it's not this weird sort of dirty secret, you know. Because the thing is as well, if you don't ever see anything sexual until you're sort of 16, 17, when your hormones are just pumping and going crazy, you're going to go nuts. If you've seen it all your life, by the time you get there, you're probably not bothered. You know, like, oh, yeah, sex, it's not a thing to be titillated or to be ashamed about. I don't know, I'm quite for legalised prostitution, as long as, you know, I'm not talking about like street whores and stuff like that, you know.
But just controlled in some sort of, rather than like hide it away and pretend it doesn't happen. Because it's kind of going to happen anyway.
Of course it's going to
So that's why I feel it's the same with drugs as well. And just drugs with alcohol, with all these things. You try prohibition, people are going to drink anyway.
Exactly. You tell someone they can't do it, what do they want? They want to do it more.
Exactly. So it's better to have it in a controlled environment. I totally agree with you. So about that, what are your thoughts on like single-sex schools?
Well, I went to 10 schools, if you include university. So it's 9 schools, but there's 10 educational assistants. And I moved around a lot because my dad was a Chinese idiot, Chinese curse, gambler. And I never went to a single-sex school, but I always dreamed of just seeing it, because it must be a strange thing. Because you did, didn't you?
Yeah, my school was literally like Harry Potter.
See, it's a kind of a weird dream. If I went back to school now in my 40s, I don't think it would be a good idea.
But it's interesting because my school was and we came in at a time where it was like, it was before smartphones and all of that. We still had to queue up for like the one payphone, and because our school was quite in the middle of nowhere, it was still pretty much run by prefects, and especially at night, because we had the monastery next to us, and we had a bunch of teachers. Maybe let's say that 1/3 of our teachers were priests or monks, and the other were lay people, but they would go back home unless they were a housemaster. So like to put the boys to bed, to make sure they get up, to like general discipline was all run by the boys. And so actually we had that fagging system, where you had 13-year-olds would look for an 18-year-old to be his like mentor, I guess. And it was interesting because like you would compete to have like a senior boy, because he would make your life easier.
Exactly.
He'd get you off disciplines. Because let's say you're late for class, and a teacher says, okay, you get up at 6 and go running. Well, it's not that teacher that's going to be waking you up at 6. It's going to be one of the senior boys. And if you're in with the senior boys, then you don't really have to get up. So what's the fear of the punishment?
Well, it's like a gang thing, I guess, isn't it? I guess you want your top boy.
Yeah.
So what was it like then with female teachers? I mean, what was it like then, hormonally?
My God, like, to be honest, we would joke around, and like we had very few female teachers, but like the ones that we did, we would say like they just start getting more and more attractive. Because like we were literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I remember like this was the age where like nobody had computers, smartphones, so like porno magazines was like legit currency.
Yeah.
And
Razzle, men only.
you just don't see women, and I just don't think it's good for you.
So you think it was a bad experience?
I just like, in terms of like healthy mentally, I think being because it's gonna be on your mind, and I think like instead of it's such a weird metaphor. It's like when you're like walking your dog, right? And if you're chill with your dog when he's like about to meet another dog, your dog's gonna be chill. But if you're holding your dog back, right, and you're like, hey, this is another dog, you gotta be okay. He's like feeling all this tension. He's gonna be a weirdo when it comes to meeting another dog. And I really feel like that's the majority of single sex schools. It's just like all this tension and like, oh my God, we've got this. They were called socials, where you meet with other female schools, and you
like
line
Harry
up.
Potter,
yeah, you like line them up, and it was weird, mate. It was weird because it's like you had all this tension, and it was like, I only got like 3 hours, and I've got to find one, and it was like,
My brother was a little bit like that. He lived in a smallish village near a town. I mean, it wasn't in the middle of nowhere, but it was a few miles out, and he was part of the young farmers. He was like the captain of the young farmer social group or something, and that's the sort of same thing. It was like bring them all together, get them in a room, get them some drinks, and see what goes on. But I think, do you concentrate more? Because I know for a fact, and it still happens to me today, if I'm doing something on my own, I do it at A level. If there's a woman or a hot girl,
you get distracted.
I just get,
Okay, but I know a story about you, right? And this was your first muscle up. And you did your first muscle up because a girl was watching.
Yes, because I unfortunately trained in a cheerleading gym, and there was usually about 50 cheerleaders there, so you train more. I mean, it's...
So there you go. So, do you work better without them around?
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, I didn't want to do my maths better because there was a hot girl. I just.
Well, that's because you weren't hanging around with the math geeks.
It's true.
There was a hot math girl. I'm pretty sure you'd be getting an A.
Yeah. Trigonometry 101, baby.
There you go.
So I measure my lengths.
Circumferences.
Yeah. Just get your hand around it.
So that was another interesting thing. Is that I was just talking about this with my brother-in-law, and he thinks that it's a gender thing, that men are actually can be better when you take women away, because we kind of like relax. Men with men, like we get into like the zone of whatever it is. Whereas like some people think that it doesn't work the same with women. I mean, we can't talk. There's no women here, so I mean we can't get the opinion. But just a quick opinion from you. Like, what do you think about it? Because I mean, I do think it is different. You know, guys with guys and girls with girls.
Well, I mean, this is probably sexist or inflammatory, but don't forget I am old-fashioned. But like you've seen a couple of these documentaries and things. You know, you get groups of men, groups of women. The groups of men can be aggressive, they can be argumentative, but they usually get things done. Whereas women take a lot longer. They want to talk about things, want to share their emotions, and they still achieve things, but it can be a slightly different route or a slightly slower route. There's more emotions filled in it. Like, say if you were to be dropped off on a desert island, would you rather be with 10 guys or with 10 women? I mean, in a sexy way, I'd rather be dropped off with 10 women. But,
Of course.
you know, I don't know, it probably sounds very old-fashioned saying that, but there was a recent documentary where they did that. They split the groups up into men and women. And the women just wanted to talk about everything and cry, and the guys were arguing and fighting, but, you know, I'm a guy, so I'm like, all right, let's just get on with shit. Whereas women are more empathetic. They're more, you know, they want to sort of. And this is a huge generalization because I guess I don't know.
Well, this is like quite interesting subject.
I'm not
I feel we should get some women on to chat about this.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so to get more onto the point of where I wanted of the subjects that I can talk about just with you, what about, because you're now an actor, but you weren't always an actor. So when was the switch? When was the impulse?
I've always loved films. I've always loved movies. I've always loved music. I used to be an MC for rave, and that was in the 90s. I've always kind of been a show off. Mm-hmm. So I got into skateboarding quite early, which I feel is a performance. You know, you're out on the streets, you're learning something, you do something nice, and you get, look at that dude, you know what I mean? So there's that element of performance to it. And then I got into rave music, which was just by accident, really, like, because I was a druggie, you know what I mean? I was like going to acid and ecstasy tablets, and then people would play records, and then someone just literally said, it was a nightclub in Grantham, it was DJ SS playing from Formation Records, it was Leicester crew. And some of my friends were playing records, and he just went, you got a mouth on you? Yeah. And he just handed me a mic. And I was like, what? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it kind of just went from there, and I just loved it. I just loved the buzz of just shouting my head off. And then I wanted to get into music, so it's more music based. And then we got signed to a label. There was three of us. One guy died, unfortunately. He choked to death on a bottle of vodka after a heavy night. And so it was a bit, I don't know what to do. And then I thought I wanted to get into the music industry. And a friend of mine who's also dead, a lot of my friends are dead. He said, well, you know, you want to be famous, you want to be a singer. Can you play guitar? I was like, no. He's like, can you sing? I was like, no.
Well, you can sing.
I can now, yeah. But he taught me. He said, if you want to be famous, if you want to be a musician, you have to learn to play guitar. You have to learn to sing.
Interesting.
And he had a little a cafe that I used to do artwork for. And then he brought an antique shop, and I went back to college to get my A levels. I fucked my A levels up pretty much doing drugs. And he said, right, every day after college, come to my antiques place. I used to go there. He used to skin up a joint. I used to smoke a joint. He just taught me how to play blues. And then after a few months, like, try this line, singing a bit. Da, 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 da. And over the space of about 8 months, I learned to play guitar and kind of sing. I mean, like, MCing is vocal. It's, you know.
So you had the strength. You just didn't have like the technique.
Yeah, and I'd always sang because my mum was a huge music lover. You know, always Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, ABBA, Elvis. You know, always playing. So there was always singing.
And the karaoke's in your genes.
Of course, karaoke. We're yellow. You know, always got to do karaoke. And and then I just thought, right, that's what I want to do. So then I thought, what do I need to do? I need to go to university. I'm always interested in films, so I went to university, did a production degree, which was documentary, fiction, script writing, and so on and so on. But then whilst I was in university, I auditioned for a boy band and got in.
No way.
Yeah, so this was my last year at university. It was signed to Warner Brothers.
Oh wow! So this is legit. It's legit.
Yeah, it was through a girl called, I can't remember her name.
The boy band was called what?
It was called Email with the MALE because emails were like cool and new. It was a long time ago. There's nothing online, so you never even record a song. Venus Weir, that's her name. Venus Weir was in charge of it. There's 5 of us. Anyway, long story short, everyone dropped out.
Were you the token Asian, or was it? Were you like an Asian band?
I was an Asian guy. There was a blonde, muscle guy, black guy who couldn't sing, couldn't dance, couldn't rap. So you know, it's not true. and a few others, and everyone just dropped out, and it was bullshit. It was all contracts and this and that and PAs, and I was like, "Are we going to record a song?" And she was like, "Darling, it's not how it works." I was like, "Well, it kind of fucking is, because like we ain't got a song yet." Do you know what I mean?
It's so weird.
Yeah.
That's what she says. It's not how it works.
It kind
You
of
can have a boy band without even one song.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably right. You know, if you think about like K-pop and that now, it doesn't matter. But anyway,
I get it if you have one song at least.
well, everyone dropped out before we actually got it to record. But then, so as the years followed on, which was 7 years, I ended up with one guy that was in the band. We ended up as a duo, an electro duo, and we did all right. We toured a lot. We toured US, we toured UK, we did
What
all
was
the
that
rides. Switch 22, and
Switch
again, there's not much online about it, which is under my nickname. And it was fun, you know. We did big gigs, we did a lot of appearances, but we never quite got that big deal. Do you know what I mean? And then after 7 years of it, I was convinced I was going to be a pop star. So all I wanted to do, I wanted to be Michael Jackson, I wanted to be George Michael, I wanted to be the first mixed race Chinese pop star in the UK, and we had enough, you know. And the other guy, ironically, left.
You just born 10 years too early.
Yeah, I mean, I was too old to be the boy band.
But we're craving for you now.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on. So I got into the music stuff, come out, and fell back into production. Because whilst I was in the band, I was still doing camera work, sound guy work, editing. And then I set up a little company with my friend Jan Bednarz, called Buzz Films, which was sort of tertiary, third sector documentary stuff. And we sort of did that for a while. And then I met a guy called Robin Schmitz, who was a music video director. And we met in Milan, was doing a film for Nike. And it was kind of a step-up moment. He was a big shot guy, and everyone said, "Oh, you two should meet, you know, you've got these crazy ideas." And he just said to me, he said, "All right," he goes, "time to step the fuck up." He goes, "I want you to direct this and edit it." And it was like, whoa, do you know what I mean? It was the first sort of time because we had to do daily content for Nike as well as a bigger film. I was like, fuck. So I stepped up and did it. It was a pretty good thing. I did a Yo MTV Cribs, but it was for a homeless football team that had all got together. So we were like going, so this is my house, it was like a fucking tent, and they had nothing, they had no belongings. But it worked. And we set up a company called Supermassive, or We Are Supermassive. And we quickly got signed to Nice and Polite, which is a directing agency. So we were sort of pimped out to do music videos and branded content and commercials. And our dream was really to do feature films. And then we produced, to see if we could do it, a short film, 45 minutes. It's a weird length film called Dog, which is martial arts, which is just me, my brother, everyone we knew. Because at the time I was thinking, well, maybe I'd like to act. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I know that the music had gone, and I wasn't so keen on being a musician anymore. And the love for directing and producing had started to dwindle because it was just 24/7 pictures, treatments, meetings. You know, it's just a slog. And if you're into it like you are, it can be a grind. You know, it's not as fun sometimes behind the scenes. We did some big jobs. We do big jobs.
I mean, it's fun once you get rolling, but that initial thing is
Yeah.
Because I guess you face rejection almost more than
Yeah, more than acting, because you kind of have to do your best pitch every single time. You know, the best ideas, the best pitch, the most out there stuff, and we're doing beautiful treatments with video. You know, animatics. So they want, you know, at the time they sort of wanted you to do the thing before you'd even pitched it. And I was kind of thinking, and
you're so much more invested, right? Because it's your project. Whereas like acting, it's like you go to an audition, it's not yours yet.
Yeah.
Right?
You have a huge vision.
You don't get it, it's fine. Yeah,
you have a huge vision, and you work so hard in the treatments. I mean, you work hard in that to prepare it, but when you're doing you spent like 3 or 4 days on a treatment, you've done everything you need to do, the animatics, the visuals, the previs, the concepts, posters, and then they're like, nah, pass this one. You're like, fuck's sake, man. And I just kind of got a bit bored. I noticed we were doing I don't know if it was a commercial or a viral or branded content, and I turned up with Robin, big crew, and I was just like, can't be arsed, I just want to fuck about, you know, like, and just mess about. I was like, I want to have fun in front of the camera. I was like, you know, this is much more fun. And then we talked about it. Robin definitely wants to be a director. So we said, let's see if we can do it. Let's put our money where our mouth is. You know, can I be an actor? Can I lead? Can he direct something that's good enough to, you know, people like? And we did. We got 11 international awards.
That was for Dog.
For Dog, yeah. We had international premiere in Lisbon. We were asked to Fantasporto to be part of their show. It was one of their opening films. So that's kind of a proof of concept to us. I thought, right, okay, we can set up Supermassive Raver, set up We Are Supermassive, and as I was wanting to have more fun in front of the camera, we started to do virals. We wanted to try and play the YouTube game.
Because you've done Dog's done well. Why not then just keep going? Why not make the big feature?
Well, this was kind of the dream, really, and we wrote a feature-length version of it. The trouble with Dog was that it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, no one knows what to do with 45 minutes.
No, you know, we got all these awards, but you can't sell it. It's too long for a short film, too short for a long film. And we knew it at the time. We kind of knew it, and we had a production office. We were getting a lot of free stuff, and we were having gizmos to test because we used to blog and YouTube video everything. And as Dog went on, everything just disappeared. You know, it was just, we sold everything just for it. So we kind of basically just sold everything to finish Dog, because every time we did a day shoot, we were like, maybe we need something more. And that's why it sort of became 45 minutes. Because originally it was 20.
And
it was 35, then we were like, okay, we need another 10, another 5.
If you just kept going, you would have made it like at least an hour.
Yeah, we just ran out of money, really. And I know it sounds stupid, we did 2 Kickstarter campaigns as well for it, successful Kickstarters, just so we could get the stunt people we needed, because we wanted to pay everyone. Yeah. I hate these projects where, you know, get a DVD, well, not even a DVD now, you know, get a credit. It's like, no one gives a fuck about a credit if it's a low budget film,
and especially if you you don't even get fed, right?
No.
And you got to pay your own travel.
Yeah.
You got to
so
bring
we just
your own food.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we could give everyone 50 quid or 100, we give the stunt guys like 200 quid each, because stunt guys, you know, they need to be paid.
Yeah.
But everyone else got at least £50. They got travel, they got donuts and bacon and cakes, and we had a caterer. You know what I mean? We gave a guy 500 quid and he came and did, you know, bacon and stuff like that for people. So everyone was paid, but we just kind of ran out of money. But yeah, before that we were doing a thing called Supermassive Raver, which was kind of a piss take look on life. Because I used to be a raver MC, and
I can put a link.
Yeah, you can put a link.
Check out.
Just here. Well, I mean, don't link. I mean, it's Marmite. You will hate it, or you will love it, and there is nothing in between. If you're a woman, under 25, you're gonna hate it. If you're a man over 35,
there goes my demographic.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's very linked in the rave past. But we wanted to just play the YouTube game, because at the time, you know, YouTube was kind of not new, but it was at its peak really, where people were jumping on it and getting known. And so we come up with this character, and it was very heavy graphics, very heavy satire, and then we got picked up by a guy called Rankin, who's a photographer, famous photographer. He wanted us to do content for him. He just said, like, guys, I love your stuff, just make anything you want. So we did, and he was like, nah. He loved it actually, but his editors and Cheryl Cole, who was apparently an associate of the magazine, was like, nah, this is not going out. It was a Jimmy Savile versus the BBC.
Because it was just too much.
They thought it was too much, you know. It wasn't horrible. It was just fucking full on. Do you know what I mean? We had an alien bursting out of Girls Aloud's chest, and I was wearing pants in a 10-year-old boy's bedroom with a cigar out my ass. It was full on. We thought it was hilarious. Rankin thought it was hilarious, but then the editors were like, nope. So we ended up doing a podcast for him called The Hunger Pod, and then we were kind of like, well, you know, we don't like all these being told what to do. Why can't we do it? You know, we didn't want to be censored, and so we were shooting some stuff in Mauritius, and Robin just said, well, what should we do now? You know, what can we do? Like something broad. And I was like, well, I love EastEnders, and I hadn't seen EastEnders for like 6 months because I've been on the road. And I was like, well, why don't we do, you know, bearing in mind that we're both music video directors, Robin's a music video director before me, I was a singer and a rapper. I said, why don't we do like a piss take video every week about EastEnders? Call it Stenders with a Z, and you can look that up, Stenders with a Z, which is like a minute and a half long music video with the storyline of EastEnders, first line Monday, last line Friday. So you could actually tell what was going on in the show, but with just a basic shot-for-shot piss take, only starring myself and Robin. And the rule was, if you can throw a stone from where you are, that's where the location is. You know, and our idea was to try and write, shoot, edit, deliver in a day.
That's impressive.
So I could usually write the whole song in about half an hour. We'd come up with the idea. We didn't really have to come up with the idea. We just pick a theme, you know, and then recreate it. And we did a few of those, and then we got an email from Fern Cotton, BBC Radio DJ, her producer, saying, "Oh, we've come across this thing. Fern really loves it. We've got Katy Perry coming in. Would you like to do like a Katy Perry Stenders for her live lounge?" So it was like, fucking course, yeah. And we did it. And then the guy was like, "Well, can we just play it every week?" So we ended up doing 15 episodes, and they were playing. Yeah, they were playing the audio every week. So it was like a little Stenders section. And I thought, kind of, you know what? We've done this Supermassive thing. It got 1 million views. We've done this Stenders thing. It picked up a Radio 1. We've done Dog, 11 awards. I was like, I quite like being an actor.
Did you make money from Stenders though?
No, not.
So you're still like, you can't produce your own stuff because you don't have the money, but you want to be an actor. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, that was more.
you have to pick. Now.
Yeah, that was more because we just wanted to see if we could do something that was more broad, and it, like I said, got picked up in a couple of weeks, and it was a lot of different characters, a lot of different personas, and then that's when I thought, you know what, I really want to do this acting thing, and I did.
Because I just mean, like, the ideal situation is you have a sort of like Simon Pegg crew, right, where you can do your own thing and it makes money, so you can do the next one.
Yeah, I mean, we were doing this all on our own. It was we'd write, shoot, edit, direct, makeup, costume. We'd do the whole thing. I mean, and it would usually take about a day and a half to do. But that was our goal as creatives. It was like, okay, what can we physically do it? Can I be as good on camera as I have to be, and can we do the offline stuff as well as it should be? And then that's when I thought, you know what, I really do want to become an actor. And I did a bit of performance at university. My degree was in production, but I did performance modules, but I kind of did it as a piss take because I was like, I'm going to be a director. I want to be the next Kubrick, basically, or Danny Boyle. I thought that's what I was going to do. So I didn't really take it seriously. So I haven't really had any formal training because I didn't. I just fucked about with girls, as you do, and it just got to the point where, going back to now to where we started, I was on a set with Robin. Robin, he knew what he was doing. I didn't. I was like, I don't really need to be. I don't know all my stuff in the pitch, the concept, and the pre-pro. And I was like, oh, do you know what? I fucking can't be arsed with this. Yeah. And he spent a lot of time with me over the last sort of 5 years doing our stupid things, our projects, our videos, all these virals that we were doing. And he had a kid and a wife, and she was like, look.
And that slows you down.
It does slow you down, but she wanted to move away to Amsterdam, and it was a point in his life where I was like, you know what, I need to give something back to her. And so he said, look, because we moved together to Hitchin. Yeah. We set up a little production company just outside of London. And he was like, look, I'm going to go. I have to. And I was like, of course you do. You need to put some time into your kids and your wife. She's earned it, do you know what I mean?
I think this is something people don't realise when you go into sort of the entertainment industry, is you do have to kind of make those kind of sacrifices because, you usually work on holidays.
There's no such thing as a weekend.
You're away for big chunks of time. So if you want that, especially your partner wants that stable 9-to-5 job kind of guy, you can go away on school holidays, those kind of things. It's not really you.
Yeah, I mean, he had to give back. Luckily, we were signed to another agency called Hood Comedy, and they had a sister company in Amsterdam called Wenneker, which he ends up now. He's a head of directors now. Fantastic. So it sat well for him, but it left me in a position where, okay, my directing partner's gone, and that was all good. There's no animosity. He needed to do it, and I loved him both for it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to set up my own company. I don't want to go back to documentary. I don't want to pitch anymore for these jobs that I'm getting beaten for. Oh, well, someone on YouTube will do it for 500 quid. And we're like, well, go and fuck yourself.
It's all about cutting each other.
Yeah. And also budgets. The budgets when we started, for music video, looking at something maybe 15,000, and then they just went down to, can you do it for 500? Can you do it for $1,000? And it's like, well, no. Well, their answer was, well, you got loads of guys on YouTube, they're raring to go. It's like, well, go and fucking get them to do it then. Because the trouble with that is, someone who's just starting will bust their ass to get the best stuff out for free. And it's not really fair because, they're being sucked dry, really. And I just thought, I don't want to be a part of that. So I just said to myself, right, fuck it, I'm going to be an actor. I am going to be an actor. I gave all my clothes away, sold a lot of my stuff, and just fucked off to London. I was literally under a friend, Jim Randall's DJ, Casual Breaking, check him out. I think the best DJ in the world. Seriously.
But I do find that commendable. I mean, I think so many people dream about doing that, to just have that impulse, that thing in their gut that says this is something I really want to do, but then to actually do it, to sell your clothes, to move somewhere.
I left
In
Hitchin
pursuit. With that, because there's that. I mean, you must have been scared as well.
a little bit. I mean,
I was waiting for you. You had no idea.
I had no idea. I had 2 suitcases, a skateboard. That's it, and a backpack. That's all I left with. And luckily, my friend, like I said, Jim Casual Breaker, let me sleep under. I was literally under the stairs, like Harry fucking Potter. And so I was like, right, my plan is hustle the fuck out of London. Just do the hustle. I thought, right, I'm gonna do the network shit. I always hated networking. I just don't like it, you know. I thought, right, I'm going to throw myself into this hustle. I moved to London. I met a guy from a different job, a guy called Eric Buchanan, and he just was like, okay, let's hook you up. You know, when we go to shows, we're going to these different places, and I found Anna Scher's theatre group, which is in North London, which during the 80s and 90s was quite famous for producing actors like Pauline Quirk and a lot of people from EastEnders that came from that thing, because it was like £3 to do. It was very inclusive. A lot of working class actors and actresses.
So it was like training, but they would get cast from there as well.
Well, yeah, in the 80s.
So it was like an actor
Kathy
studio
Burke.
in New York.
Yeah, but it was very working class. And when I got there, I think those days had gone. They had gone, you know, and it was more of a social event. It was improv, and she's been knighted, I think, Anna Scher, for her contribution to drama. But I started to go to this Anna Scher theatre group, and it was kind of improv, and it was very, everyone's going to be having fun, and I fucking hated it. I really did. No offence to anyone there. She's a lovely woman, but I hated it. All the people, it seems to be their improv was just about, oh, fuck you, oh, fuck off, I fucking hate you, fuck off. And it's like shouting for them meant acting. And
so I noticed that in drama school too. Like the 2 major ones that people go to is like, because the thing is, if you feel it, you feel like you're doing great acting, right? And anger is one that's so easy to feel, right? And it's so easy to get like hyped up too, because especially when you're like nervous, you got that energy, but start getting angry. And the other one is to feel sorry for yourself, start crying. Because some people can cry like that. I'm like, oh my god, I'm crying. It's like good acting. So
yeah, and I did 6 weeks of that, and I just thought, I made a huge mistake. I hate it. I hate everyone there. No offense to anyone there personally, but it's just
not your style, and so you don't feel comfortable.
But they were clapping things, and I was like, that's shit, and you know, that's rubbish. And they were clapping, and I was like, have I done something wrong? And I don't feel it. And I really, really, really panicked, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. I've dissolved my production company. My directing partner's in a different country. I'm living in under someone's stairs, and I hate what I'm doing. And then I got an email. I must have just put something out on one of these casting networks, and it was from Eva Pope, who I was like, I don't know that name. Eva Pope, a very famous UK actress, Coronation Street, Holby City. She plays the headmistress in Hetty Feather. She's an amazing actress. And a guy called Brian Oliver. Again, he's an amazing theatre writer, performer, script writer. And it was like, there's this thing called Meisner. Would you like to come? We're doing a free session. There's going to be 10 guys, 10 boys, 10 guys, 10 girls.
So interesting. We have the same story, because that's how I got introduced to Strasbourg. Is when I went to a London workshop and I just didn't like it. And then we had a guest teacher, and she taught Strasbourg, and I was like, what is this magic?
Yeah.
She became my mentor.
Yeah, exactly.
Mariana Hill, shout out.
Is she a shout out to heaven or?
No, shout out.
Okay, good. I was going to say.
I haven't heard from her for a while, so I don't know where she is.
Yeah, so I sat there in this little dungeon in Holborn. It was called the Actors Gateway, and I was like, okay, I'll go along. And she said, we're going to do a repeat. She goes, it's going to go somewhere, just let it go. And I'd obviously done a bit of research before, and you know, I thought, this and that, and offshoot of method, and blah blah blah. And what I saw was these 2 people, just from a process of repeats, become this most dramatic, like emotional roller coaster of quiet, still, violent, tense thing. It was a 20-minute repeat, and I was just fucking blown away. I was like, oh my god, this is it. I was like, I have to do this every fucking day. And we all had a turn, and they selected a few guys and a few girls to be their first class, and luckily I was in there. And then it just went from there. It was every Thursday, 2 till 7, so 5 hours of Meisner, which if you know Meisner, it's fucking mental. And I just got hooked. You know, I just got hooked. I got hooked with the people, with the vibe, with my mentor, who, you know, Eva and Brian, they both became my mentors, helped me out through everything really, came to every one of my shows, just so much support and love, and for everyone in the group. And I mean, it can get a little bit culty, as you know.
But I mean,
it can get a bit culty.
But I mean, you got to find your style. It's the reason why I loved working with Secret Theatre, Rich, because Rich and I went to the same drama school in New York, Lee Strasberg, and so we got this method thing. And like, I remember sometimes in Singapore, I'd jump on the bar and I'm accidentally spitting all over you.
Oh, I had loads of spit.
Like, and you're just like loving it, and like.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's different every night, and we'd get different vibes from each other every night.
I loved it. I love seeing you on. You know, you could kind of tell if the audience was a bit annoying.
Yeah.
You'd be more aggressive. You know what I mean?
That's like even you, you're just like, I've had enough. Because I mean, so we're doing immersive theatre, and it was amazing because we had to ride that really fine line of you had to get the audience involved and amped up, but not too much that they start attacking. They attack the actresses.
Yeah, you know? Which happened a lot actually. I mean, immersive theatre is a dangerous thing. We talk about that later or another.
Well, so what I wanted to get into you, because you started acting. Did you find that you had an issue with casting in terms of like people didn't know what you were?
Yeah, very much so.
Like, because like, were you Chinese enough for the Chinese parts?
No, this is
and
it.
And were you English enough for the English parts?
You've hit the nail on both heads. I mean, I've had things where I know I'm not Chinese enough. Mm-hmm. You know, they want a Chinese chef, Chinese businessman, scientist, and I'm sat in a room with other actors who have a very traditional Chinese look, the bowl haircut, not buck teeth. You know, not saying that they're ugly, but you know, there's a certain type of Chinese look. And I'm thinking, I'm not kind of in that vibe, and I mean, I always get put up primarily for Chinese roles. If it has the word Chinese in it, I'm probably going to get the cast in. Yeah. And if it just has the word man in it, I'm probably going to have to fight for it. And I have struggled with it, haven't struggled with it, because I've got roles because I've been Oriental, Chinese mix or whatever. But no.
Because that's what's crazy, is they're looking for the stereotype.
Yes. I mean, that's the trouble with a lot of those things have been commercial castings, and I know that I'm not Chinese enough for a car commercial.
So I know. That's why I find that, because I think you're what we're pushing towards. Like, as people get more mixed, you're very much the future of especially Chinese people in England. Right? You're going to get a bunch of Chinese kids that sound English, or have very English mannerisms, because you don't look English.
No, I don't look English. I don't.
So I think it's more about the mannerisms, and I think it's crazy that they're pushing the stereotype instead of pushing the future.
Well, I've had a couple of times where I've had a casting director's assistant whisper in my ear, "Could you be a little bit more Chinese?" And I'm going, "I know what you mean."
Yeah.
Oh, hello, so sorry. Oh, okay. And I've done that. It was for a huge commercial, 25 grand. I'm not going to mention the name, Just Eat, go fuck yourself. And they wanted it to be, it was a dance routine, a song. And my agent was like, come on, you know, you've done music, you've done dancing. And I was like, oh. He's like, you want to play a Chinese chef? I was like, dude, I've got a scar on my face. I was like, okay. And I got there and I just saw one guy. He was a typical Chinese takeaway guy, because those castings sometimes they'll just get anyone Oriental. Yeah. Doesn't matter if they're good acting. Doesn't matter. They just get him. And he was there going, oh hello, oh I don't know what to do. Oh, where's the toilet? Oh, I was like,
but it must be killing them inside.
Yeah, no, they didn't give a shit, do they?
Because you're getting paid, and that's the thing I think people don't understand is especially when it comes to like the whitewashing and trophies and stuff like that, when they're up and comers, like, okay, fair enough, it's like you trying to bash Scarlett Johansson about Ghost in the Shell, that's a whole nother story. But like when they're up and comers, like these dudes just want a job, they just want to get paid, and you can't fault them for playing the stereotypes.
No, and
that's what people are asking.
I've done it,
But I mean, so question, like legit, have you had to play another Asian and then tried to ham that up? Because the thing is, you trying to ham up being Chinese, okay, it's not really racist because it's you, and you can't call it whitewashing because it's you. But if you had to play a Korean, or you had to play a Thai boy, or Filipino boy.
Well, I did recently actually for a very large action-based franchise.
So then, do you ham up the stereotype?
Yeah, I mean, but I guess because it was I can say it was for a American Korean gangster
Yeah.
for a franchise movie, and I was like, what the fuck is American Korean? Do you know what I mean? So I thought I kind of did the whole, you know, it's a bit more Japanese and you know what I mean. So but then as an actor, I guess you do have to do that. The worst thing that I've ever done though, and it was that Just Eat, Go Fuck Yourself, where it was like, can you be a little bit more Chinese? When I went, oh, I'm so sorry. And I literally was like, oh, okay, I'm doing this. And they were like, oh. And I don't mind that. I don't mind if they just said, guys, this is a fucking advert. We want some ching chong Chinese guys. We want it to be real fucking stereotype. Are you cool with that? I'll be like, yo, cool with that.
Because if it's like a comedy or something, if it's not taking advantage of anything.
But to have it whispered in my ear, like, oh, could you be a little bit more Chinese? I was like, oh, go fuck yourself. And I walked out and I went, fuck this job. I said, he's going to get it anyway. The horrible guy like that. And he did get it. And it annoys me because it's in some way, if there was a casting breakdown for a black man, Yardi, urban gangster, talks with a street accent. He's going to go in there, yeah, black, well, you see him, like, you know, and he'll know that. But if he said, UK African guy, you know, this and that, and he come in, oh, could you be a bit more black? That would annoy the fuck out of me. And I'm quite cool with racism because I usually think most people don't really mean it, and you know.
Well, especially in our industry where they have to kind of push the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, so now, you know, Hollywood, Asian films, things like that, like at least they're showing Asians more.
Yeah.
But do you feel it's like your battle? Because I mean, it's like an Asian battle, but we're somewhere in between.
Yeah, a little bit, because I have to. Well, when it comes to if it's a casting, it's a cattle call casting, and the brief is Chinese man, I know that I'm going to be put up with every other Chinese guy because
and you're not Chinese enough.
Yeah, because of my look, and I'm not Chinese enough, and it doesn't matter how well I act in a commercial. You know, I have my issues with commercial castings anyway, because they should just fucking hire models who don't talk.
They should.
You know,
they should.
Because the models are very good at looking a specific way and walking and doing nothing else apart from looking right. So hire the fucking models.
It's so funny. I've said that so many times. I'm like, look, if you want me to look a certain thing, or if you just want the look, like, get a model. If you want an actor, like, I can act.
Like, for instance, my last commercial casting for a huge car brand, and I knew I wasn't going to get it. I was like, this is bullshit. I got a callback. I got a recall. I was like, this is bollocks. Like, and I went in there. First thing they did was do a Skype. The camera zoomed into my face, and I could see the director's Skype call, and he went, oh my god, his face is cut. And I was like, well, yeah, you know this.
Yeah.
And I leaned into the Skype and I was like, if that's a problem, mate, I'll fuck off now. Everyone in the casting room shit themselves, like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? Like, this whole arse kissing thing. And that's again.
Well, no, because the worst thing would be then is if they'd already decided no, but then they waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, be real. You know, if you want a Chinese guy that looks a certain way, hire a model. But that's what I'm saying. So in those situations, I'm like, oh, it can be anyone's games. But when it's to do with a character, I like that more because I'm competing against someone else's acting ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And the roles are
talent.
It's talent.
Yeah.
The roles are fewer, but I think I have a better chance. So I don't mind that, you know. And recently, I'm in a film. I can say now, I'm in Fantastic Beasts 2. I'm playing Aura Chang, Cho Chang's granddad.
Is it?
No,
I saw you post that Wikipedia.
I didn't put it on Wikipedia. It just says it on Wiki. So I could be Cho Chang's granddad. And that was a casting with Fiona Weir. Amazing.
Scottish, unless your wife's Scottish.
Yeah. And that was in a broad UK RP accent they wanted, you know. And I was like, wow, this is my first chance to play a character. Got it. And recently I've had a few auditions where.
Did you have a one battle?
I didn't have a one battle, but I did have one training with Jackie Chan Stuntman team and a one-on-one with David Yates. I mean, I'm going to be in the film.
What was the Jackie Chan Stunt team there?
There was a guy from the Jackie Chan Stunt team doing the one stuff, and I'm going to be in it in the back for about 5 seconds at the end, so don't hold your breath. But I got paid a lot of money, so it's all good. And that was a great
They
role.
gave you some perks, right? You got a wand.
I got a wand, I got a trailer, I got free lunch, I got a driver.
You got a trailer.
Yeah, I'm in a trailer. Yeah.
Shit.
Jeremy Kyle, motherfucker, all day long. It's like, do you want anything? I was like, yeah, I want like 6 crisps and 9 biscuits, and they're like, yeah, okay.
Actually, total segue from that. Going back to the stunt thing. I remember it blew my mind, like working with in Asia so much, and knowing a lot of the Jackie Chan stunt guys, and knowing a lot of Hong Kong stunt guys. Like there was little things that blew my mind. Like in Hong Kong and China, when they do the stunts, that you don't get paid extra. It's like you do it and you get it right, and the longer it takes, it's like the more fault it is for you not to get it right. But like in the UK and the West, like the more times you do it, the more you get paid. Like you get paid per try, and I'm not gonna say it's an incentive not to get it right, because I mean nobody wants to put themselves at risk. But I just remember how impressive it was. These Asian guys are like throwing their hands up to be like this is my shot to do something, and they do some insane.
Oh yeah, they don't mind fucking themselves up. But look at the the Peking Opera, Sammo Hung, Jackie Chan, Yuen Bao, all those guys. They kind of made it. You gotta be fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the lead guys doing their own stunts.
But and it bothers me that the Oscars don't have. So this we're totally segueing. But I mean, I just saw that the Oscars are now, and it's a shame because it might take away from Black Panther. They're adding a new category for most popular film.
Yeah.
Right, and I think it's to accommodate Black Panther, which is a shame because I think it could win Best Film anyway.
I don't think it's that good.
But okay, another one. But I'm amazed there's no stunt category. And when I talked to them about it, they said, "Oh, because it's such a difficult category. Because do you honor the stunt man? Do you honor the stunt director?
Well,
That's why I said just do it all.
Yeah, best stunt choreography, best stunt performer. Why not? I mean, maybe Tom Cruise, but like a lot of other films, like all the Marvel films. I mean, like take the fucking stars away, and you still got a movie. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I mean. So apparently stunt guys do get paid decent.
Yeah.
I think Asian stunt guys should definitely get paid more because but the thing is like they don't get any of the limelight.
No, but I think there's a tradition of them just wanting to be that good.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could.
But I
John Wick.
do think it's a shame.
Like John Wick is kind of the epitome
It's
of like.
made by stunt guys.
Yeah.
And then this is a dope film.
It's the stunt guy. It's not the second unit. It's the first unit now.
Yeah.
I mean, and what an amazing action film! Like it really is. It's the best action film I've seen in a long time.
And man, Keanu Reeves is awesome.
Yeah, I mean he's
does
legit.
have stunts.
Yeah, he's legit now. He's a legit kung fu dude.
I was disappointed when I found like you know the Matrix where he holds his leg out and he does that thing.
Was that on a wire?
Yeah, I heard it was a wire because I was like that's like proper strength.
It's fucking hard to do.
It's like hooks your ass. Yeah, but I was like I heard it was a wire. It's like well fair enough, and I was like fair enough if it's like he can probably do it, but if you're doing like 50 takes, like might as well get the wire.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And if you got the wire there, you got the team there, you might as well hook the leg up.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the solution then for? Because I mean, so another big thing that came out, Crazy Rich Asians just came out.
Yeah, I saw.
So that's like, and so I was always when I had Third Culture and I had the Third Culture Film Festival, this was something I was always pushing, and I was saying, look, instead of we've talked about this before, I said instead of us trying to change Hollywood, like let's make our own shit, right? And I have massive respect for Crazy Rich Asians and all the Asians that got super excited. But then I got worried because I heard the lead guy for Crazy Rich Asians is a mixie, right? And then a lot of Asians got upset because they were like, finally we've got a big Asian movie and the lead guy isn't even proper Asian. And I was like, oh no.
I know, it's
because now we're like, because it's like we're not getting cast in the West, we're not getting cast in Asia, so where do we belong?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I think I never give a fuck about whitewashing really. I mean, like, because there's plenty of TV shows in Asia that are fucking full of Asians. Same with Bollywood, same with Nollywood, same with any culture that has their own film industry. When people whine about it, is what they're talking about is America. There's not enough blacks in American TV film. There's not enough Chinese in American film. And if you want to break into that, yeah, it's going to be more difficult for us. But there are avenues. If I was really, really, really bothered about being Chinese in a Chinese cast, I'd probably fuck off to China. But I can't speak Cantonese very well, so I'm kind of fucked. So I've got, But even still, I think that the roles in America for mixed race guys like me and you, I'm much higher. There's a much higher possibility of getting it because in England you don't see characters that aren't Chinese really that aren't playing Chinese. It's rare. In American you do like James Wang is a fucking physician. Stephen Tong is a fucking veterinary. They're just normal guys. In England they're not as yet. But I think is it just a representative of how many people are in a country? Like this is the thing, and it's probably a controversial subject, but like. In terms of any kind of washing, if people are complaining that in Hollywood there's not enough black people or not enough Chinese people, I think surely it should be representative of how many people are in that country. If 1 in 10 people are black in America, and there was 10 black people in a film, you'd say, well, that's kind of not representative, unless it's if this is about black culture. Same as I don't think that in English film it should be 90% Chinese, unless it's about Chinese people. I don't, and it's a touchy subject, but I think as well a lot of this whitewashing crap is just for headlines, because like Scarlett Johansson at the time, she'd done massive action films. Yeah. She'd done 2 quite culty science fiction films, Luc Besson, Lucy.
The Luc Besson I thought was really interesting.
And also the director wanted her.
Yeah,
in his
and then the thing with the Ghost in the Shell, the thing I found amazing, we actually did an article about third culture, was the style in Japan, and none of the Japanese people were upset about it.
They didn't give a shit.
The style is she's meant to look super white.
She didn't give a shit. Look at any anime. They've got blue, white, green hair. They've all got blue eyes. I mean, yeah, it would be nice if I could get cast for more roles in something like EastEnders, but I don't think that me sitting whinging about it will make a fucking difference.
So this was the other thing. It was like let's say something that really hurt me to the core, like the Dragon Ball movie, which was just horrible, and they should definitely remake it with us. The thing is like a lot of people in the West don't know these awesome anime stories or Asian stories. So I'm like, okay, if it means you got to put a white guy in it for the Western world to hear about the story, then I'm like, fine. If you're gonna like whitewash Death Note and nobody in the West had heard of Death Note before, then fine, do it. At least they've heard about it now. It doesn't mean because they're doing an Asian story they've got it. But I do. So what I do have an issue with is I feel it's short-sighted that a lot of these businesses, because it's a business at the end of the day, it's not publicly owned.
Film industry.
It's a film industry. So what I feel is short-sighted though about these guys at the top is that Asia's a massive market, and instead of like just catering to the West or catering to Asia, if you have somebody that can straddle both worlds, you're gonna have a superstar. And that's what they were saying The Rock has done, and The Rock was very aware of it. The Rock is like, I'm gonna be a star in Asia as well, and that's why he's worth so much. Because now he's got Under Armour brands that are like all over Asia and stuff like that. He's a worldwide superstar, and Bruce Lee was one of the first to appeal to both the East and the West. And that's what I feel like Mixies could do. Because you could, if you want to make Chinese stuff, you could go to China and do Chinese TV shows.
But then I couldn't, so I'm not Chinese enough.
But nobody in the West is going to watch it. But I think if you could appeal to both East and West, then that's your gold standard.
But I think the times are changing, because as much as I've moaned about things, like I can't mention them because of NDAs, but I have had 3 one, I can say who the networks are, 1 HBO, 1 Hollywood, and Sky TV. And those roles, especially the last one, was my dream role. It was a character, which was a man, that did a certain thing, nothing to do with him being Chinese, nothing to do with him being mixed race. And that was the first time really, and I've been acting sort of maybe 5 years into this year. And I was like, wow, finally this role. I haven't heard from it. It's been 10 days.
It would have made you. Like, it would have set you up.
Oh no, this is a different one.
Oh, it's a different one.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it off the air.
We can talk about it off the air, but the first one was for that would have been. Even that was still a little bit stereotypical because it was but it was based on a true guy. So I was like,
based on a true guy.
They wanted an accent.
And he was pretty badass. So
badass true guy, yeah. And they were like, can you do an accent? I was like, yeah, of course I can, because that's what he'd do. But the last one I had, which is for a Sky TV property, it really was a dream come true. And I was messaging my agent saying, for fuck's sake, I'm sick of these castings, because I walked out of the Mercedes casting, fuck you Mercedes.
Mate,
like,
I'm never gonna get sponsored by Mercedes.
love you, Mercedes.
Love you, Mercedes.
I mean, but still, you know, I worked out very bad vibes, you know, and it was rude. I mean, they were rude to me. You don't say to someone, "Oh my God, his face is cut," because it's like, okay,
Is that the one that they said? It's
Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
and I was like,
You know what? You know what? Not fuck Mercedes, but fuck that director.
Yeah, exactly. The Mercedes brands are awesome, but fuck that director, because that was, you know, he should have known. But that's the thing about those casting calls; they were just cattle. They didn't care. But this last one that I cast for last week, it was a comedy. The character was nothing to do with being Chinese, and I was like, wow. And even though I haven't heard from it, I'm not so bothered. If I get it, great. If I don't, I'm not going to cry about it, because I know that I was beaten to that role by someone who was a better actor than me, but not because they looked more Chinese or because I didn't look Chinese enough.
Well, one of the, I mean, I agree. I think it goes easier on your ego when you know the guy's talented.
Yeah.
The one thing that's difficult to deal with, but there's not much you can do about it, is when you get beaten because they're just more famous than you.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Especially when they're not right for the part,
Yeah.
or they don't even care about it that much.
Well, I think that's
It's
what's
just they're
happened.
more famous.
That's what's happened with the
It's just
HBO thing. I know. I mean, I read for the role, and it was a brilliant part. Like I say, 10-page intro to the character. It's a big deal, and I can see why they would want her name, and that kind of hurts a bit because I think, wow, I felt like I was this guy in the past life. I was like, this is me.
Yeah.
This guy was me. But again, I understand the industry, so I'm not going to bitch and whine about it. But going back to whitewashing, like if they'd cast
There's one thing I do for like any actors watching or aspiring actors. Like one thing I gotta say is like you have to, and it's easier with time. You have to understand how little it has to do with your ability. Like there's so many different factors. Like it could be even that, you know, they're looking for a leading man and they've already cast the actress and she's tiny and you're just too tall.
Yeah.
Right? You have the right look, right demographic, right all, you've got super talented, it's perfect for you, but you're just too tall for the actress. So it's like so many different factors, and you just got to keep hustling, you just keep going.
But also, a bit of advice, if you can get into a room or get into a self-tape where you know that it's your acting that's going to get you the role, not your look, then those are the rare chances.
Yeah, but I feel like you just go for anything anyway, and then to get those looks, it is you have to play the agent game, and you got to have the right agents. But yeah. So I believe we gotta make our own stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta really push your own stuff.
Yeah, because if you're good, and also you've got to be good. I mean, this is the thing. Like a lot of people, but we're not represented enough. It's like you might be shit.
Yeah.
You all might be shit. You know, you have to be fucking better than everyone. Regardless of your look or your culture or your mix, you know, you have to be the best fucking dude in the room.
Oh, well, so this is what I feel. I feel it's like a fine line.
And
because,
look like they
no,
want.
because if you have talent, how do you show your talent unless you're in stuff? So you gotta work. You gotta work. That's why it's like if you're just casting but you're not working, you gotta do something. You gotta do something with a mate. Find a guy that can direct. Like work with other guys in your situation and make your own stuff.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna build this sort of following where it's like, we know our guy's super talented, he's not having a shot, and then you're gonna get some noise. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like doing podcasts. I mean, because like can't speak the traditional route of, you know, RADA, stage, big time. You know, it kind of it works for a certain group of people, but you have to show your face a lot because there's so many. All these websites, Star Now and all that, all these paid websites where you can get castings. They're great, but what it does is it just fills the space up with millions of people that aren't the right look, aren't talented enough, don't really know what they're doing. So you become lost, I think, or you can become lost in that chunky fuzz, which is harder to separate. Like if we were acting 100 years ago, there'd be one mixed race actor. There'd be one black man. There'd be, you know,
Tick the box.
Yeah, and then you do everything. But now there is, and I wouldn't want to ever dissuade anyone. But what I'd say is, if you're not very good, and your heart's not in it, fucking quit because it's making it harder for us. It's a joke. But you know, I think you got to be very serious. You know.
But I mean, So one thing that going back to the thing that I want to talk about is like, you know, about whitewashing. I think we both know where we stand now. But you know, because I do think when you're an actor, you want challenges. I think you should be allowed to play other races, right? Because that's what acting is, right? Or do you think, well, this is my look, this is my race, I should only play this? Like you saying a white guy can never play Othello, right? Or vice versa. You know, can a white guy never play an Asian dude? I think that's crazy because that's what acting is, play other characters.
I know, but alright, would you want a white guy playing Bruce Lee? Come on. I think iconically, no. I think.
So the thing is the reason why I wouldn't want it is because I feel like it's such a strong vehicle to make an Asian star.
Do you know what I think should do? Because they're remaking Enter the Dragon, aren't they?
Well, I mean, the
Should
guy,
be a woman.
But the guy who did it last time was.
Should be a girl.
Well, I was in Lady Blood fight, and Amy Johnson is amazing, and that's basically Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, his blood sport. So yeah, I mean, I think there's some crazy talented female action stars out there. Hopefully, get them on a podcast.
Yeah, man. But you should, honestly, can you imagine Enter the Dragon? Same story, same Bruce Lee fucking story, but it's a girl.
But then it's not Bruce Lee.
Badass.
It's not Bruce Lee.
But it could be the same film. You know
But now we're talking
bullshit.
But now we're talking about something else. You just want to know, like, well, how would I feel if a white guy played Bruce Lee? I'd be upset because I think there's some really talented Asian guys that would have been perfect for it.
Yeah.
But you know, if you know, yeah, I mean, if The Rock suddenly plays an Asian part, I'm like, okay, well, the thing, it's like when that thing, The Great Wall came out, and people giving shit to Matt Damon for doing it. I'm like, okay, well, I haven't watched it yet.
I've seen it.
Okay, so I'll ask you in a second. But from what I've heard, a lot of people were like, well, why are they upset? Because there's loads of Asian stars in it. Nobody would have watched it unless Matt Damon was in it. So he was actually giving the platform for all these Asian stars to like get a movie.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it on my own. I was waiting for a train and I had like 5 hours to wait, so I went in to see it. And I was part of that whole whitewashing thing. Yeah. And I was like, oh God, like all this money. And I watched it. I fucking loved it. It's an amazing bullshit fantasy story with aliens and fucking dragons.
Is it aliens? Those dragons?
Yeah, well, dragons kind of thing. And it's not a spoiler. It's been out for a while. But
so that's why I thought it was weird because it's like if it's dragons, can't they fly over the wall?
Well, I don't want to tell you what happened.
Okay, so
but it's an amazingly beautiful film. There's about 1 billion Chinese people in it because they're not extras. I mean, they're not CGI. Matt Damon and the Caucasian characters in it play like the kind of sort of bumbling idiots. They're not the heroes. I mean, Matt Damon's cool in it, and there's a nice sort of buddy movie thing with this French guy. But the main stars are the girl. So like they just totally, you know, they should have said, hey, look at this cool film. It's an Asian film. It's got a super strong female lead.
So people got upset without even watching it.
Yes.
It's just the idea of it. Yeah.
And why not have Matt Damon in the film? Like fucking hell, Saving Private Ryan, The Martian, fucking like Oscar-winning motherfucker. Like why wouldn't you want him in your film? It's like, oh, he has to be Chinese. It's like no, he plays a Westerner coming to steal gunpowder. But then he gets fucking caught up in this mystical land of these badass fucking Chinese people doing their own shit, nothing to do with these Westerners. And I really liked it. You know, it's trashy, it's popcorn, but like the stunt work is amazing. Some of the sequences like you haven't seen before. Some of these sequences you haven't seen before. You're like, whoa, dude. Do you know what I mean? And I loved it. And this whole Scarlett Johansson thing, it's a fucking cartoon. Like, pull your dick out your ass. I mean,
there's so many things that we could be upset about. I just feel like put that energy into complaining, into supporting indie projects or stuff like that, or make your own stuff. Yeah.
If they do fucking make Akira, they fuckers need to be Japanese at least. They need to be Japanese.
There's some things that I feel like we're missing out.
That story is set in Tokyo.
Well, because that's what I think. If like I understand Hollywood saying, oh, we don't have the Asian stars to put that would sell the thing. Well, that's because you're not giving them the platform. Yeah. If there's some vehicles that are just so, like that guy would be a super, just like Star Wars, right? Star Wars is going to be a hit. Give an opportunity to an unknown person, and they're going to become stars.
They kind of did with that girl, but
so that's what I'm
the
saying.
Shit she's got. She's had a lot of shit apparently.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, she had the opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? So if she smashes it with the talent or whatever, like if she's not your look or she's not your cup of tea, that's something else. But the point is, the vehicle is there. There are certain vehicles that are gonna be successes, especially in Asia. Give it to let's see the next Asian star of the future. Okay, so I do want to. I'm definitely going to get you back. This has been fun.
Yeah,
But so what's next for you?
What's next for me? I've just been offered the lead role in a PC game.
We had to talk about it.
I don't think I can name it, but it's. I mean, there's the announcements trailer around.
Are you a gamer?
I am a gamer, yeah. I'm not a PC gamer now because I don't have a PC, but I'm a huge gamer, yeah. I'm a more console gamer, Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, you were like legit Street Fighter. Yeah. So what I heard about Adu, because I'm a bit of a gamer, so I had respect. Simon apparently used to log on at certain times of the night, right? So that he would play people that were like just waking up because it gave him
most tired.
almost tired. So you never higher win rate. I think that's legit dedication.
Yeah.
But how high were you?
I was
your
not.
ranking
I
in
was
the world?
I was the number 86th best Blanca fighter in Europe. So that's top 100.
Blanca's. Let me know in the comments. I think Blanca's cheating.
No, he's not.
You just spam the electricity thing.
Not the electricity.
Okay, but fair
He's
question.
fast. He's
fair
fast.
question.
He's fast.
If,
People don't realise how
if
fast he is.
Hollywood's all about remakes, why have we not done Street Fighter again?
Oh, I'd love to be.
Right? Because Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile was just awesome.
I love that film. Can't even know. Brilliant.
But I
Jean-Claude
didn't
Van Damme,
like
brilliant.
how they dealt with Blanca in that game.
Oh no, but it's hard to. I mean, he should be full CGI. I mean,
Quick Street Fighter quiz.
okay.
I remember when I was a kid. I think it was Street Fighter 1. Blanca was Vega, right?
No.
Well, Blanca was the boxer.
No, what it
They
was
changed
was
the name
it
a
was
couple
it was
times.
because M Bison
Yeah.
was Mike Tyson.
Oh,
So he was
the
Balrog.
boxer. Yeah.
Yeah. So they changed him around, and then Vega was the top guy. Which they changed to M Bison so that they wouldn't make the boxer M Bison. So he was
Because of
Mike Tyson because he bit that. He raped his girlfriend, didn't he? Beat her up. They were like.
Oh, so they just didn't want to associate.
Yeah. So now they call Bison, or who we call Bison, they just call him the dictator.
Is it?
Yeah. So if there's a tournament, they just call him the dictator.
But Street Fighter 2, what is he called?
It depends where
In
you
the
are.
arcade.
In the arcade in
Is he
Japan,
still there?
he's
Bison.
Bison, or Vega.
So why Street Fighter? Why not like Mortal Kombat or Tekken or any of that?
I like Mortal Kombat. It was just, but I like Mortal Kombat a lot because it was quite when you saw it in the arcades. Because I'm an arcade rat. It looked like real. It looked real. You know, they were like motion captured or something. They looked like films. But the moves were very limited.
See, if I saw you in an arcade in Hong Kong, I'd think proper gangster.
Well, yeah, because you could smoke cigarettes, mate. You could smoke cigarettes, innit? You got your Marlboro lights on there. You fucking playing there for one-on-one. Like.
Okay, give me your best arcade story, like, because I know you've got some kids coming up to you saying.
Best arcade story. I was in an arcade.
We're gonna end on
Okay,
this.
I was in an arcade in Nottingham. My friend Jonathan Cobb, Ben Ansley, and Matt Haig, and it was in a place called Hockley. Playing Street Fighter 2. I walked in, put my money in, knocked the guy off, and I was just going through just to complete the end. And then
Is that how it works? You drop a coin.
yeah, drop in. Press
So
it
say
again.
I've got next game.
Yeah, and then you can beat them, they fuck off. And I was just playing rounds and rounds and rounds, just trying to get through to the end guy. And then about 3 lads came in, black lads from Nottingham, from High Green, all chained up and fucking,
How
played
old were you at this time?
I was about 15 maybe.
Oh shit, just a kid.
15, so I didn't have a moped, so about 14, 15. And he put his money in, I fucking beat him. He put more money in, another credit, I beat him. And then he put another credit in, beat him. So it was like, I beat him 3 times. And then he rang someone on a fucking, brick phone. Do you know what I mean? It was like, what the fuck is this?
So then he must have had money.
Yeah.
Brick phone, yeah.
I mean, because I didn't have a phone then, it was like this big thing like that. And he's like, I don't know what he said, but he just rang someone. And about 5 minutes later, fucking BMW pulled out outside the arcade.
Because you know what's crazy is like you're focused on the game, you don't know what's going on back.
Yeah.
Well, you know shit's happening.
Well,
behind you.
yeah. Well, because my friends, they're like, fucking hell, like, they shit themselves. And this guy came out, this fucking dude, like, this sort of old guy, it's probably like in his 20s. And didn't say a fucking word, just put his money in. I beat him first round. He beat me second round. And I got a bit scared third round. And it got to about this much life, this and this and that. And then he won. I got scared. By then there was like 4 or 5 of them, and he was like this big older guy. Didn't say a word as well, and he just was like that. Fist me at the end, like not fist me, like knuckles me. Do my knuckles, like that. And he just went like that. Didn't say a word. And I was like, let's get the fuck out of here. And that was it. But the cool thing about the story was the fact that that the guy that I beat 3 times rang someone to come. On his big fucking 80s fucking.
I just love the idea of like of like being that guy, like, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, there's this guy I can't beat. Can you just come over and beat him?
I know.
Like, I want to be the dude in the area you call.
Yeah, I mean, I know. So that was it really. And then we sort of kind of went. We got out. We were going to get beaten off or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But that's not my kind of story. I was sweating, and I could have had it, but I think I was nervous. You know, all his mates were there, like obviously that little gangster kind of vibe, you know, early 90s gangsters or whatever.
Alright, man. So cool to have you on. Definitely gonna have you back loads, especially when you get some more projects, we get development, especially issues come up. I'd actually love to get your opinion on Brexit, but that's another story. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Please like and subscribe so that I can do this more often, especially if you enjoy this stuff. Comment below especially if any more questions for Simon you want him back. He'll definitely be back. And you want to ask him more stuff, just hit us up in the comments.
And buy my book, Love and a Dozen Roast Potatoes, still available on Amazon, Waterstones, W.H. Smiths.
I'll put that in the link as well. Alright, thanks so much guys. Take care.